I'm about to get a couple new Supreme Court justices in when I win. Missouri lawmakers, and so just remember, the Republican leadership still wants Hillary to win instead of Trump, so just remember who they really are. Trump says he'll put people in like Scalia, who are strict constructionists following the letter of the law, not what meaning can be twisted from its text. Missouri lawmakers passed Stand Your Ground, no permit concealed carry. And that's good because areas that have gun control, we're seeing crime explode because the economy's going into the toilet. We've seen crime drop for 20-plus years, but now it's going to go up because the economy's falling apart. And the answer is to hold that violent crime wave down, get more citizens armed immediately. 9 anti-gun bills advanced in California Senate. That's the bad news. That's from guns.com. The Democratic-controlled state Senate Appropriations Committee on Monday gave a rubber stamp to a shelf of measures that would change the landscape of gun laws in California. And, of course, it'll just basically ban most of your guns as they promised to do and register all the others so they can confiscate them and harass gun owners. And there's a big list of them. And if you want to know what the feds are going to do under Hillary, this is the Bloomberg, Hillary, Soros, Nazi collaborator wish list. And it is a nightmare. And if you lose a gun, you go to prison. It's just horrible. It funds all the gun-grabbing groups with state money. It's bad. It's bad. Again, bans a bunch of guns. Just you want to go find out what their wish list is. It's 9 anti-gun bills advanced in California Senate. We're posting it up at Infowars.com. Continuing, Interpol, 800,000 migrants ready to head to the EU in the latest group, and they admit they're full of ISIS fighters and jihadists, and 80%, again, are military-age men. I mean, look at this photo. None of them are women. It's military-age men. Go north and west, my son. There you will find the wenches and weak men that lay down to you in states that serve us. Played the clips yesterday. And then the Germans at the leftist party meeting, almost all run by women who'd have bags put over their heads and be in slave dungeons under these Wahhabis. They have the women get up and go, soon Germany will no longer be German. There will be no more evil blue eyes. And the women are like, yeah, the German women, yeah. Oh, we hate ourselves. Oh, we hate ourselves. Just sick, freakish behavior. You think I'm kidding? It's in Paul Watson's report. Like, can we find that? I forget the headline. I want to put it on screen for new listeners who actually want to go see that video for yourself. And the Muslims saying, we're here to get your women, you weak scum. I'm supposed to go, I'm liberal, you're right. Kill me, I'm sorry. Help me, I'm weak. Let me continue. Obama spending millions to find summer jobs for refugees. That's out of the Egan News. And remember, it was reported last week by The Hill that they get more money per year than the highest paid Social Security recipients. So out of the gates, the refugees are getting almost $18,000 a year and food stamps and job preferences up front. Sorry. Here's another one. Black Iowa student starts fight, loses, makes up hate crimes, gets caught. That's the University of Iowa. Shockwaves across campus turned out to be just another hoax, police said. They have the video of it, just like, again, the guy saying they put fag on his birthday cake at Whole Foods in downtown Austin, and they have the surveillance footage. He did it. He wanted attention, but Whole Foods says it's okay. It was for a good cause. They just they're like, go do that to a little Christian bakery or something. Don't do that to us. And the media all help cover it up. Here it is out of the Gazette. No charges against University of Iowa student Marcus Owens for fabricating hate crime. And then it gets into what he did. It says he got drunk and ran around starting altercations and attacking people, and then ran back and said that he had been attacked by white people. I'm sorry. It's just really funny. Oh, boy. 62 years after Brown versus Board of Education, court orders schools to desegregate. Again, the black school has the highest, in this report, highest grades in the independent school district system, which aren't independent. Almost no one, they have the polls, who's in the school wants to go. There are some white and Hispanic students. They're predominantly black. They have good discipline records. It's just a first-rate school. They don't want to leave the school in their neighborhood, but now they're going to be bused across town to a predominantly white school. And vice versa. Vice versa. This is forced integration, folks, because it's going to create total implosion. And you watch, guaranteed within a year or two of this happening, because they say they're just going to swap the schools and then finally tear down one of the black schools, which is predominantly black, that belongs to the community that they run. Guaranteed the test score is going to drop for everybody. So, and by the way, it's not segregated. If you're white or black, you can even ask and go to another school if you wanted to. They have that program there, they report. I spent some time researching this morning. It's amazing. Separately, though, all over the country, minority groups, gay groups, whatever, are self-segregating, want their own areas, and then schools are giving them that when they want it. Here's another report. Texas Governor JFK wanted men on the moon. Obama wants men in the women's restrooms. Adon Salazar, Infowars.com. That ties into the story that's up on DrudgeReport.com. It's an Infowars.com exclusive. New York City to fine businesses that don't use correct gender pronouns, failing to refer to transgenders as Z or her. Oh, got to use the word they say now. A violation of human rights. That's already in the colleges, in the banking forms. And they're telling kids in public school, telling 5-year-olds, don't say he or she that because I can't be a boy or girl. Totally confusing them. And then when the kid goes to the counselor a few years later, says, well, I don't know if I'm a boy or girl, they're like, we got a special after-school group for you, licking their lips. It's called pedophilia. Sandusky is proud. Sandusky is proud right now. So that story's up on Infowars.com. We're going to be talking about that some. CIA watchdog, the Hill reports, accidentally destroyed a copy of the torture report. Oh, I'm sure it was a complete and total accident. And it's an accident that the Rockefeller Foundation weaponized in 1954, the Zika virus, and then it was on the U.S. weapon shelves, and then now magically it's mutating and it's weaponized and spreading right in the middle of the new Olympics coming up to spread it worldwide, and then it causes basically sterilization to form babies, and then folks are scared to have sex or sexually transmitted. Nothing going on, folks. Drink your fluoride. Drink your fluoride. Okay, now let me get to the really big news right now. Then I'm going to come back and get into the election news that's ultra important as well. This story's on Infowars.com from No More Fake News and John Rappaport, who I want to get on about it. And it links right to the New York Times, and it links right to the universities and Scripps, Howard News Service. I've told you this forever because they said they were going to do it. And even when I saw a science fiction movie like 15 years ago, I forget the name. Who's the guy in the Shawshank Redemption that plays the accountant? What's his name? Well, he starred in it, and it's in the future, and they give you a shot that goes in each part of your brain that makes you submit and be passive. But the elite get a shot that actually brain boosts them. You've seen that in the new Bourne Supremacy movie, The Bourne Legacy. Well, they really have studies on that going back 20 years. So writers know about the scientific stuff going on, so they put it in science fiction movies. The media allows it to come out. The government does because it then conditions you and gets you ready for it. But the last 10 years or so, they've been admitting that they're going to have behavior vaccines, stress vaccines, anti-drug, anti-addiction vaccines that aren't vaccines. Vaccine is just a word where you get learned immunity from an attenuated or dead or weakened strain of a virus or a bacteria. I know you know that. But under the rubric of that, it is DNA-altering human live mutation, which is called cancer. Live mutation inside the body, which if you study, they say never do because it's connected to cancer and is really, really dangerous. And it's already going on. They're already adding this to vaccines. There's already social conditioning going on. That's why a lot of folks get vaccines, and it's more than just the aluminum and things in it. They're not themselves anymore because live viruses that are artificial, they're basically nanotech, this is in studies, are being put in. That's why somebody goes and gets a shot and suddenly he's never there again. They're there, they work, but they're like dead. Because there is a zombie apocalypse already going on. I hope the media makes a joke out of this. The actor was Tim Robbins. The film was Code 46, 2003. And we'll put the IMDb up on screen for TV viewers. I'll describe it for radio listeners. And the government uses viruses to program people's brains for social control. So again, we'll put that article up on screen for TV viewers so people can actually check it out for themselves. We didn't have time to print it. If you scroll down, I'll actually read from the description on the plot. Yeah, just click storyline. Code 46 is a love story set in a Brave New World type near future where cities are heavily controlled and only accessible through checkpoints. People cannot travel unless they have paperless papers. Words and sentences in many languages, especially Spanish, French, and Chinese, are mixed with English in this new world. A special travel permit issued by the totalitarian government, the Sphinx. Outside these cities, the desert has taken over the shanty towns and jammed with non-citizens, people without IDs, forced to live their lives. And then it goes on to break down. I've seen the film, how they use viruses injected into people to basically control them and dumb them down. Will you guys print me the whole bio on that? Now, continuing here, or print me a better review. That's just some anonymous review that didn't do too good a job. The whole point of the film was about the viruses. And I saw it like over a decade ago. I'm going from memory. But here is the real issue. And if I can talk about a movie and get people to pay attention, I will, because I want to do a review on this. It was probably a decade ago as well that I did a special video report called Brain-Eating Vaccines. That's a shock name because that's what they do. They call them, behavior vaccines, anti-depression vaccines, stress vaccines, anti-addiction vaccines. And there's a bunch of different families of these. But most of them create antibodies that block chemicals in your body associated with euphoria. So yeah, heroin doesn't get you high anymore, but you also never get excited and you're a total sad sack. And it's linked to depression and suicide. But still, they have other classes that are viral that go in and actually destroy, that eat, that replicate on certain areas of the brain and give you a tailored viral lobotomy. Basically, viral meningitis, genetically engineered viral meningitis to go in and target certain areas of your brain. Now, you know the globalists are into social control. It's in the news that Obama does whatever Google says, and Google's gaming everything for the Democrats and the globalists. And it's in the news that they meet with Zuckerberg and they game everything. They've all been caught. It's all out in the open that they're scamming you. Of course, if they're putting fluoride in the water since the mid-40s, to brain damage you and lower fertility. And the White House science czar wrote a book about it in 1974, the year I was born. What do you think they're doing now? Don't take their vaccines. Don't be afraid of all the other diseases and things that are out there that they claim vaccines protect you from. Most of the time, they make you more susceptible to what they claim they're fighting, whether it's shingles or whooping cough. Look it up. But let's say there were real vaccines out there that could actually help you. They don't want to help you. They're bringing in illegals en masse. They now have record levels of tuberculosis all over the United States. That was in the news yesterday. Minnesota is the worst hit. Like, you pull that up, it's incredible. You think they really care about you? They're not going to give you real vaccines. They're going to give you real technology. They're doing everything they can to block you. And only a revolt by the citizens, the scientists, the doctors, the researchers, learning about this and saying, we want access to the real stuff, only that will turn this around. But let me tell you, the new vaccines, the reason they're given national liability protection, and the reason they're so secretive and allowed to keep it secret is because they're adding Trojan horse stuff, viruses, cancer viruses, nanotech, microplasms, you name it, in a bunch of secret testing. They admit they've used vaccines to test stuff on the public, including lethal pathogens. Secret testing's been declassified. Everybody knows about Tuskegee. There's thousands of things bigger than that. In the U.S. code, they say for law enforcement or any testing purposes, they can kill you. They also have it on the books. They can cancel elections and arrest people en masse. Well, I say that's a fraud, and I'm standing up against it. And by the way, Salon's back saying pedophilia is good. Oh, yeah, this is how sick these filth are. They hate us. I'm proud of that. I just tried to quickly drink some more Vitamin Mineral Fusion from InfoWarsLife.com and spilt it down the front of my jacket. But there are worse things to do than that. Like absorbing invisible, undetectable by traditional methods, radiation all over the world, concentrated in the Western world. We're going to be breaking all of that down with Dr. Edward Group with some huge news coming up in the next segment. But I'm going to make a big deal out of this because I've made a big deal about this over the years. I've studied the globalists and their social control, their ruthlessness, how cunning they are, how bold they are. They admitted in mainstream news a year after the fact that the H1N1 virus had been a simulated virus in a vaccine a year before. It was actually just a false positive virus to create hysteria and cover up other more deadly flu viruses that were going around at the time to push a special synthetic vaccine